Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace, peace, peace. It's your little brother from up north, Minister Dawud.
Nice. How you doing, brother?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I'm good. So what do you think about my challenge? My We Can Do It Right Here challenge.
Man, brother, I'm just, first of all, it's good to be back on what I call Holipsism Wednesdays.
Yes.
It always brings the weekend when we could do this together on your night. I'm just leaving my daughter and my middle daughter. And, the conversation I was having with her, I think, is pertinent to what we're talking about now. I went to go get her. We was talking about a whole bunch of different things, and then she dropped this on me. Now, mind you, I've said on many occasions that my daughter wants to be a doctor. My oldest daughter wants to be an electrical engineer, and then my second daughter wants to be a doctor, pediatrician to be specific. And me and Walnut have had conversations about it. So just today, we sitting there and we're talking, and she says to me, she says, Daddy, she says, what is the RN? I said, well, RN is registered nurse, baby. You got to go to school for, I think, 2 years, and, it's a lucrative field. But she goes, I want to be that. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, why not a doctor? She goes, well, look at my grades, and sometimes they're not the greatest, and I think being a doctor is too hard. I think that this is your standard stock brother or sister, without calling them a Captain American Negro or a Militant Integrationist, which a lot of them are, but without even using those terminologies, your standard stock brother or sister thinks this way. In their mind, they're saying to build a nation on the continent of our ancestors, a full nation, is like being a doctor, because it's going to take 10 years, it's going to take residency, it's going to take $100 grand and stuff like that. Why not just be an RN and do it right here in America? Why not build a little dome in America and play like you got sovereignty, play like you got, control over your infrastructure and things like that? To me, this is why we're getting a lot of this nation within a nation pushback. And remember, we all said it, I said it, you said it also. The next fight would be nationhood. And I think that the prophecy has been fulfilled, because now you're seeing all of these videos about nationhood. Nation within a nation come out of nowhere. I've never seen so many videos about nation within a nation until we started talking about having a nation of our own. And it's weird to me. And what it shows is that a lot of these brothers and sisters don't want to go for the doctorate. They just want to go for the RN. For me, the way I look at it is this, brother. Because people say, well, why would you want to go and try to build something in Africa when this is our land? Well, the fact of the matter is, as many have said, all of the other countries have gotten rich off of Africa's resources. Your cell phone comes, the most vital ingredient of your cell phone comes from Africa. The diamonds come from Africa. All these different resources that are used all over the planet come from Africa. And when you say, well, this is our land, we built this, what exactly are you claiming? Do you really know what you're claiming? You're claiming a land that is barely growing healthy crops. And so for me, when I look at the whole thing, I say to myself, wow, would you not like to have, so if a lot of brothers and sisters in the conscious community, because they like to, a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm going to address this not this week, but next week's show, a lot of brothers and sisters say, well, if you ain't been locked up and if you ain't been in the game in the streets, then you really have no right to the conscious community because you're a phony. Okay, so let's take that premise there. Let's take the premise that most brothers and sisters in the conscious community have been in the game some way, shape, or form. Did you not learn something from the game? Did you not learn that if you have the ultimate plug or supplier, that you beat everybody else, all the competition? So if you had a direct trade, the greatest natural resources on it, don't you think you'd be defeating all competition in America? I think that we bugging out when we've been in these movements for so many years, eating up the ideologies from some of these movements, that we don't have the ability to critically think about how things have changed and see things in a different perspective. Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to say Africa is not this and Africa is not that, knowing damn well that the Chinese is getting rich off Africa, I just think that you got a mental disorder in 2016. You got to. I mean, am I bugging out, brother? Or what is it?
No, you know what it is, brother. The people who say that are uneducated and ignorant about Africa. That's all.
Right.
I mean, that's basically it. They're uneducated and ignorant about Africa. They're uneducated and ignorant about nationhood. Because I've always said this, and I've been saying this for the last few, times when I've been on the air. It's easier to build a nation state outside of America than to build one inside of America. So they got it backwards.
Yes.
The only reason why they think that it's harder is because they're uneducated. Because the reason why we look at them so incredulous is because we have a group that's called the BAI STEM group, where we put this information and we talk amongst ourselves and we post information. We know how it is to build a nation compared just 5 years ago. What was it? Dubai was built in 10 years, and this was 20 years ago. It doesn't take 10 years to do it now.
Nope.
They have nations, they have smart cities and nations that's popping up this in less than 5 years.
Yes, sir.
And another thing is they don't know how nations are financed.
Right. This is true.
They have no clue. So when they speak this, see, the thing that annoys me, and this is how I feel like, if you notice, if I don't know about something, I don't really speak about it.
Right. This is true.
Like if you heard me saying, like you see my post, have you heard me saying anything about Milwaukee?
Nope.
You know why? Because I don't know enough to say anything. And people that have strong opinions with little information really annoy me.
Yes, me too.
How are you going to take a strong stance on something when you don't know shit?
Oh my God, brother! Let me cut in on this one. It's like when the Karen Gaines situation, may Allah be pleased with her, went down. Oh, she's a Moor. She was? Did she ever say she was a Moor? Well, she didn't say she was a Moor. Well, what the hell are you talking about then? What you talking about? Like, okay, so once you throw that out and it's not true, then what exactly happens after that? Like, what do you do after that? Do you apologize? Do you take it back? Well, she claimed this and she claimed that. Nah, she didn't. She just basically has some paperwork. Oh, okay. That's your answer to that? I mean, you know what that's like? It's like Giuliani saying that there was never no successful terrorist attack until Barack Obama. So when you call him on his BS, what's he going to say? Well, I mean, you just take me out of context. What? Fool, you just said something that was a bold-faced lie on national TV for billions of people to see you, and when they take you to task on it, your response to that is they took you out of context? Are you crazy?
Can I briefly respond to that?
Please do.
What made that so sad was that was a prepared speech. It wasn't off the top of his head.
That's right.
and before he made that statement, he went into this whole thing about 9/11.
Right.
So that means that he's incredibly stupid.
Him and that whole party.
Yeah. They thrive. Like Donald Trump said, I love the poorly educated.
Oh, it's unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable. It's like, the reality of it is that for you to say back in the 90s, even in the early 90s, there was stuff out there that would have made it easier. But for you to say in the early 90s, nah, it'd be hard for you to build a nation, blah, blah, blah. We could kind of understand. We're living in a day where the technology in a smart watch is 10 times to 15 times greater than the technology that was on the Challenger that went up in the air and blew up years ago.
Right.
You understand? In a freaking watch. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, the technology in your smart calculator is more, like 10 times greater than the technology that was on the Challenger that they used to send up to the moon. So that shows you, and you get Warlord on here. Warlord has this thing, I cannot recite it the way he says, but he has this thing where he talks about how fast information doubles in a modern time. And it's amazing if you ever get him to talk about it, because he knows about how I really can't follow it, because that's when him and Mikhail, they get into their brilliant talk, and we just sit around and we say, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They get into the nuts and bolts.
Mm-hmm. And we just sit around, we be like, yes, sir, well, yes, sir. And we know damn well, like, we can't hang out. It's fascinating to see how quickly information is doubling and tripling in the modern time. So all you have to do is have the desire. And like you broke it down, I'm not sure what show that was that you broke it down. And Colin said this, as a matter of fact, in the chat room. Genesis said this. Israel started out as a nation with just tents. And from tents, it grew into a block. From blocks, it grew into a city. From city, you slowly but surely, you build it up.
Yeah. And as you've seen, with all the technology that we've put into that group, I don't think our enclave existence is going to be like Davy Crockett. Something tells me it's not going to be like that.
No, not at all.
We have too much technology at our hands, too much modern development, too many ways to build things quickly. You know, with the technology is not stopping. I mean, just in a 5-year period, leaps and bounds in technology when it comes to building infrastructure. Nobody's out there banging no hammers, banging tracks into the ground, you know, with some big hammer like, what's that dude? What's that song? That song with the black dude. Yeah. Come on, man. Nobody's doing that anymore. Nope. But see, they're ignorant, and they thinking, you know, like, oh, well, it's easier to build it right here. No, it's actually harder to build something as a power base right here. Now, you can have a really successful satellite community if you do it in conjunction with your nation state. Then, yeah, we can transform these neighborhoods quickly. But if you're thinking about building your power base here, your base of operations, you are a fool.
Yes.
And I can't even talk to you anymore. I can't talk to you. Read some books, get some education, and then come back at me. Because if you read some books, you get some education and familiarize yourself with the existing technology, learn about nationhood, learn about infrastructure design. And if you come back after knowing all of that, you saying the same thing, hey, I don't know what to say.
I have to find a way, brother. Because I'm committed to 2 shows. I'm committed to Watch Who You Follow, Watch Who You Teach, and then I'm committed to Nationhood Balance Imbalance for the next 2 Thursdays or whatever. But I have to find a way to craft a message to deal with, because what I found out talking to a couple of brothers that have nothing to do with nationhood or the movement itself, I think a lot of people were scarred by some Back to Africa hustlers. So,
no, I didn't say that,
brother. Oh, okay, my bad. Because the thing is that the minute you mention nationhood on the continent, you will see people squint and like ball up, as if you mentioned like a skunk or something like that. And I stop and I ask them, yo, what was that all about? And they say, oh man, Back to Africa, you know. And I used to get offended, and then after a while, you know, being a minister, they seek first to understand, then to be understood. I said, well, why are they doing that? Because these are good people that's doing it. Some people I really like was doing that. I said to myself, it's got to be the era in which people was talking that, but they really didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? They were just saying it as a response to any black move they were dealing with. They were just basically just talking the words, but they never intended to do it. And I think that we've had that so much over the years, combined with black movements preaching against Africa because of 1 or 2 bad experiences with somebody from the continent over here. So all of that stuff put in the psyche of generations of black people, where the minute you mention building in Africa, to them, their mind goes back to those experiences. And when you talk rationality and say, listen, fool, like build on a continent, like be free of colonialism, be free of the tariffs that you're going to face if you build a nation here, be free of the constant freaking security checks you're going to go through if you, all of that stuff. And they still say to you, no, I don't think that's viable. Then you got to know, like I said on that one radio show, it's a mental disorder, bro.
Yeah. Yes. And I'll say another thing. Another talking point that they have is that African Americans have nothing to offer Africa. Are you crazy? See, this is what I'm talking about when I say people don't know what the fuck they are talking about. They are uneducated and they are ignorant. Like there's a bunch of African nations, first of all, that control their own land, that are thriving and prosperous over there. That's sitting back going, oh well, we just got it made. We don't have no neo-colonialism over here. We control our infrastructure. We control all of it. Where's that African nation? I mean, you got Nigeria on the come up. You know, you got Zimbabwe, but they're on the come up. They ain't there.
Right.
And like I said, in the Negro, the bootlick and Negro mind, what they think is reality is actually the opposite. African nations are begging for African Americans to be involved. For
years.
Begging. And these assholes, these fools, are sitting here going, well, what do we have to offer Africa? Really?
Oh, man.
See, this is why like I can't have a conversation with somebody who has a really strong opinion based on no information.
Yep,
inform yourself, educate yourself, learn something, and then, because if you do that, then we won't even be having this stupid discussion.
Right.
It's like I said with the dude on the conversation with a Captain America Negro, or conversation with a Black Power American, that video. It's like you're asking me things that it's like I'm saying 2 + 2 is 4, and you're going, why? And now I have to break down mathematics to explain that. No, I'm not doing that, man. Educate yourself, and then we can have a conversation. One educated person with another educated person, have a conversation without all of these buzzwords. Like there's people literally, like what you was talking about, the fear of Africa. Let's not. I agree with what you were saying there, but let's not eliminate the propaganda against Africa. Let's not eliminate the fact that there's a lot of our people that literally think that we will be swinging from trees and throwing spears.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what they have in their mind. They haven't seen any images or can't point to any modern development in Africa. As far as they're concerned, it's all jungles and spears and face paint. How can I have a conversation with somebody when you you're just on self-hatred autopilot?
Oh, man.
How can I have a conversation with you?